All right, let's open it up. 3-0 in Conference USA is exactly where we wanted to be after 3 games. But we also understand that we have 5 really good conference opponents still left coming down the road. So we got to make sure we stay locked in and focused. You don't win championships in October, but you can either put yourself in a good situation or a bad situation. And I got to give it to our players. They've done a great job of focusing in on the next opponent, on the next team, not looking ahead, and just continuing to prepare the right way each and every week, and we got to continue to do that. When you're learning how to win, you have to take it one week at a time, one practice at a time, and again, just learning how to prepare the right way. These kids have been unbelievable. Can't say enough about them, but we got to continue to focus in. We got a lot of good opponents ahead of us. FAU is undefeated in Conference USA, just like we were and are. And they're looking at this game as making sure that they make a statement and they're going to be a legitimate championship contender. We know we've beaten some good teams the last 3 games. UAB, I think, has won 3 of its last 4 with only loss to us. Southern Miss has won 4 out of its last 5 with their only loss to us. So we've competed and played against some really good football teams. And FAU is not going to be any different. Right now they're averaging over 500 yards of offense, 350 yards rushing this last 4 games, so they've definitely found a groove and an identity to what they want to accomplish. Defensively, the last 2 games they've had 7 interceptions. They're creating turnovers. I think on the year they have 41 points off turnovers, so they've done a very good job of owning the ball. And again, we got a great challenge, but we also have a great opportunity to accomplish our mission this week, and that's go 4-0, and that's what we're focused on. With that, I'll open it up.
Coach, is there an update yet on Bryce English, or is he still pretty much out
until the doctors tell me different? We're working to get him back out there, but sometimes surgeries, sometimes they aren't as quick as you would like. The recovery process, and so he again, still working extremely hard. The doctors and trainers are doing a great job. We just got to, when they tell me he's ready, that's when we'll get him ready to go.
Against UTSA, the Roadrunners had a little bit more success running the ball than typically teams have had against you run defense. What do y'all need to get back to defensively going against FAU, who is a run-heavy team, like you said?
Yeah, we got to do a great job up front. I did feel like we did a nice job up front. I thought the 2 Flushy did a great job. I thought the D-line as a whole were pretty productive all night. I also thought the back end played extremely well. I thought Keyshawn had a really good game, and I thought our DBs played well. But with a team like UTSA, they're a physical football team. They want to establish the run, and I thought their running back ran extremely hard, broke some tackles. Yards after contact were probably too much. So we got to just get back to fundamentals of wrapping up and making sure that we attack and get the ball tackler, get the ball carrier down and make sure he's not getting yards after contact as well.
Obviously, going against Lane Kiffin, he returns as a head coach this year. What are your thoughts about going against him and just the matchup against him?
Well, I think he's obviously a really good football coach. Has a great offensive mind and done some really good things. So, again, just like everywhere, there's a lot of great coaches in Conference USA, and from top to bottom, week in and week out, you're going to face not only great coaches but great players and great opponents. So it's a testament to our league and kind of where we're at. So, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun going up with these matchups and with all the great teams, and it forces you to be on edge every single week and making sure that you prepare the right way. Because again, if you don't, you're not going to win.
How do you build on what you guys accomplished this last week?
1 week at a time. I mean, that's our message, and it has been our message culturally. Making sure we stick to our core values and who we are, making sure we understand what's given us a chance to win games, and that's been the most excited team to play. That's what we talk about week in and week out, and it doesn't just start on Saturday. It has to really start on Sunday, the previous Sunday, when you're correcting all your mistakes. You come out Tuesday and you got to have a sharp, crisp practice on an early Tuesday morning and be locked in. So we're just continued really focusing on 1 week. I mean, that's as far as we can go. I think if you try to do something that you're not used to doing, you're probably not going to have much success at this time of the year.
how's Florida Atlantic done it offensively? It seems like they've really, you mentioned that they've kind of found it with the running game there. Is there something different that they do or special that they do?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say it's anything that we won't see from other opponents or haven't seen. They just do a really good job. You know, you can really tell they got some great players. They got great athletes. You know, and I think it takes time to find rhythm at times on offense. You know, especially with a new group and everybody's trying to learn the system. I remember how that was this past season. You know, so once they start getting in that rhythm, that groove, and kind of finding their identity, understanding, you know, even as coaches, who you're, what you're putting your faith into, and trying to put your guys in the best situations to be successful. He does a great job with that. And again, I just think they're playing at a high level right now and have a lot of confidence. Some of it's the confidence part of it.
In all your stops here before you were, when you were in OC, before you got here, y'all improved pretty dramatically in year 2. You know, it's been the case here, your first time as a head coach. You're on pace for like 6,000 total offense this year. You know, what do you think goes into that? Just that second year improvement, aside from the familiarity.
Well, year 2, you usually can put a lot more on them. They know the system. Trying to keep it as simple as possible in year 1 so they can at least play fast. You know, but it's also growing and making sure you know who your personnel is, the guys that, you know, you want to find different ways to get the ball, or who your quarterback is. You know, a lot of the times dictates what you're going to do, making sure you're getting him comfortable and putting him in great situations. Just year 2 overall, the coaches are more comfortable in the system. The players, they start figuring out and knowing what the adjustments are. You know, when people are trying to attack us, we have the answers to the system, and once the players get to understand the answers, it becomes a lot easier as well, because you're able to make adjustments on game days a lot faster. So we got a great group. Again, our coaches done an unbelievable job, and all the credit to them. It's by far and away me. It's not me. It's those guys that are putting the great work in.
As far as Mason goes, obviously it's his second year. He looks a lot more comfortable out there. He's one of the leaders of the team. How much more does he have on his plate as a quarterback, as far as going up there, reading the defenses, and maybe obviously from freshman year to this year, as far as reading the defenses and changing the plays at the line and anything like that?
Yeah, a lot more. I think, you know, being a freshman, getting thrown out there early on with a system you haven't been in very long. You're just thinking about, you know, the call and where you're supposed to go with the ball at times. So he's definitely more comfortable, you know, now, you know, giving him a little bit more freedom to check plays, check routes, making sure that he's getting us in good situations. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a ton of work in the film room, outside. I mean, those quarterbacks have to be another coach on the field. And so he's put in a lot of work. He's a great teammate. But he's very confident in his abilities. Again, I love the way he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he's a fighter. So, you know, he's doing some really good things, and I still don't even think he's come close to his full potential yet, which I think he has a very high ceiling.
Is he okay? He took a heck of a shot. He looked okay after the game, but after, you know, he slept on it and everything, is he okay going into the week?
He's sore. I mean, he's always going to be sore. I mean, that position, you're going to take shots, but he took some hard hits, you know. But it's awesome to see him standing there for his teammates on that last drive versus zero coverage, and they're bringing one more than you can block, and he really stood in there and made a heck of a play. And that takes a lot of courage on his part and a lot of trust to understand Boosie's running a hot route and he's going to be where he's supposed to be. So again, it's a credit to those guys doing their jobs.
Lane at all from your time in college football? Not
really. I mean, just through really conference meetings, the only time I've had opportunity to visit with him. But
is he kind of a creative guy offensively, or what is made him successful as far as what you studied?
Well, again, when I was at Arizona, I was the offensive coordinator. You know, he was at USC and did a great job offensively there as well. You know, he has been very creative. Again, he's known as a great offensive mind for a reason. Everywhere he's been very successful. What they do offensively, and yeah, I think he's very creative, and a lot of it's, he has a lot of belief in this system and what they're going to do. I think he knows the answers to it. It's easy for him to make adjustments for what you're trying to do. So we're going to have to be sharp, and we're going to have to make sure that we do a good job of making our in-game adjustments as well.
He's almost going through a process similar to you. You were an offensive guy and a coordinator a lot of different places, and then, now he's back into this league trying to prove that he can be a head coach. What was that process like for you, making that transition from being an offensive coordinator to a head coach in this league?
Everybody's different, I would say. I can't speak for everybody. I think for me it was, as an offensive coordinator, you were in charge of the offense and making sure that you put them in the best situations and building those relationships and that trust with your players. As a head coach is different in the fact that now it's all three phases. And so just your job title grows in a sense. Now you got a lot more relationships to build. It's a lot more time. Being around all the phases and not just being an offensive guy, because it's very easy, and it can be very easy to just focus in on, what you've done your entire life and watching film or getting out in practice and making sure you spend equal time, watching all the different phases. And again, some of it's not even coaching them up on defense or on special teams. Some of it's just encouragement. Some of it's just getting around the guys and the players. Because again, in this, I truly believe it's more about relationships and trust and them understanding that you care about them, and we're here to not only win football games but mentor each other and have a lot of fun together. So I think that's been maybe the hardest transition, just because it's so many.
Is it more comfortable in your second year now? Do you feel a little more established as a
Just like anything, you get more comfortable as you go. You feel more comfortable in your role. Just with any coordinator or any position group, starting out, I think time always helps, and through all the different situations you've been involved in and we've been involved in the past year, you're going to grow. You should grow unless you're not paying attention. So it's been good.
Was that a good path for you, going from being an offensive coordinator to different stops like that before you were a head coach? You think that helped prepare you?
It helped me. Again, everybody's a little different. It helped me. I was fortunate and blessed to be around a lot of great coaches. A lot of great head coaches. I've worked for offensive head coaches, defensive head coaches. And you take things from all of them and try to find the things that fit you and the things that and fit your personality, and continue to grow with those things that they taught you. And then some of the night, when people leave here, some of the guys aren't going to like some of the things that we did here, and so they're going to change it and fit it to their personality. And so you take the good and bad from every stop you've had and try to make it your own. And again, that's why I've been around a lot of great coaches, and especially offensive coaches. The last two spots at Indiana with Kevin Wilson, probably one of the better offensive mind I've been around, as was Larry Fedora. So I had guys I could lean on as an offensive coach. And then, so for me, it was just the experience of it all, and I was fortunate we had some really good players where we're at as well.
You feel more established at this point? You kind of feel like you've shown that you can be a good head coach?
I think we'll look after the season and kind of. I really don't look at that right now. I got so much other things on my mind with our opponent and game planning, and again trying to get a week better and getting around our guys. But I feel like we're starting to learn how to win football games. The momentum and confidence is always a big help. Once you start getting on a roll, you don't want it to end. So I think it locks you in and continues to keep you focused and wanting it. Every game gets bigger.
Coach, when you go back to last week, you guys jumped out to that 13-0 start, but then kind of struggled offensively until the fourth quarter. What do you have to do differently this week to kind of keep that foot on the pedal early in the game?
Felt like we did in the first half. We had good rhythm. We were moving the chains on third down. I think that first drive we were 5 of 5 on a 17-play drive, which was crucial. And I thought we were doing some really good things offensively. We had the poor snap there right as we were fixing to get across the 40 or so. That put us back, and we ended up having a punt. And really, right before half, they did a nice job, against us, and we went 3-and-out right there. So really had one poor drive in the first half. Need to start faster in the second half. I mean, really, it's kind of what it hurt us. We had a turnover there early, which kind of got us out of the rhythm. Once we start getting the first down, that's what's crucial. That first down, then you can get in rhythm. You start moving the ball, and then we've been more explosive after that. We just got to do a better job of getting that first down right after the half. So we've done a pretty decent job at times starting fast, whether it's been early on or coming out after the half. We've done some really good things doing that. But again, you got to give them a lot of credit. They're a very good defense as well. So you're going to have your opportunities, and when they present themselves, you have to make the plays.
Trevor Moore broke the extra point record this past week, and he's been obviously a huge weapon for y'all. Just what is his value to the offense and just everything y'all can do in y'all's mindset?
We have a lot of faith and confidence. We know once we get to a certain point in the field, we're going to get points out of it. And it gives us the freedom and, a little bit more comfortable in the play calling. We can take some shots and be aggressive and know that he's going to come through for us. He's been very consistent since I've been here. You talk about a guy that everybody on this team respects. He has an unbelievable work ethic. He's a weight room junkie. He loves it, and he loves football. So he's been great for us.
Zach Womack, the strength and conditioning coach, has mentioned throughout the season as a big part, especially over the offseason, has helped you. What have you seen from him just as far as the players go and their development? How important is he?
Oh, he does an unbelievable job. He really, again, knows the players, knows how to. Every player is a little bit different. He knows the buttons to push for each guy. He's done a great job of continuing to build them up with not only getting them bigger, stronger, and faster, but the nutrition aspect of it. And a lot of that comes from the resources that he's gotten from our administration and making a commitment to the nutrition aspect of it. But you can tell our guys are bigger, stronger, and faster. And just year two, sometimes, just like with offense, defense, and the system in the weight room year two helps as well, just through that experience and understanding what and who you have. So, but he does an unbelievable job. He's very important for what we're trying to get accomplished.
For the first time since 2004, your team's also 3-0 start in conference play. How do you prevent your team from getting complacent?
Same thing we talk about, just talking about the next game, the next week. I think once you start looking at records and you start talking more about 3-0 in conference instead of we got a great opponent, we got a great opportunity to go on the road against somebody who's undefeated in conference play, a very good opponent. And again, we talk about getting a week better. So there's always things to work on. With this group, again, I said it earlier, I've been really impressed with them refocusing every week, throughout whoever our opponent is and locking into our game plan. And they've been great so far. So you got to trust your players and trust your coaches to make sure that we're doing the things necessary to get a week better.
Tillman came back last week. It seemed like he contributed for it. Talk a little bit about him coming back and what he's provided you guys.
It's been great with depth, especially. I mean, we're getting a little thin there. Probably one of our deeper positions starting out at the beginning of the year. One of our strongest position. We've had some injuries there that are forcing guys to play more snaps than we would like maybe. But he's definitely came back at the right time to be able to not only give us depth but give us someone that's fresh. Coming out of the last couple weeks, trying to get healthy, so he's maybe a little bit fresher in his legs. By no means do I feel like he was 100% Saturday, but I think he's getting there. But he's a really good player for us. It's always great to have him in there.
What is it that has made him effective throughout his career?
Well, he's extremely smart. Technically, he's probably one of the most technically sound guys we have. He works his tail off, but he has a good quick twitch, and he's powerful. So he can do some different things, you know, in some of his rushes or you know, if guys are sitting back on their heels, he can get a good bull rush on them and get push in the pocket. But he also has that quick twitch to where if you're trying to stone him, he can get around you. So he's doing some good things, and just got to get him back 100% healthy. And I like that. Again, that group's been solid all year for us. We just got to keep coming around and making sure we try to stay healthy in that position.
You mentioned the timing of it. Is it good just because you guys are going to be playing a running team, a team that likes to come at you a little bit?
Yeah, I think, you know, week in and week out, you're going to have good offenses. I mean, that's been proven. So in this conference, yeah, this group is a good running team, but they can also throw the football too and hurt you in the back end. So we just got to continue to do what we've been doing week in and week out, and that is making sure on defense we dominate up front, take away the run game, and try to force guys to be one-dimensional. That's we've done a pretty decent job doing that up front, and that's where it all starts, and that's on either side of the ball. I mean, you got to be great up front in order to have success. And, our team's bought into that. They've worked extremely hard at becoming a physical football team. Again, I still think we have a ways to go from being where we want to be and kind of what our vision is being, but they're starting to become more physical week in and week out.
Coach, I need to know, did you follow Mason Feinbach on Twitter?
I did. He made enough plays, so I finally followed him back there. Plus, I had some good incentives, I guess. Appreciate it. Thank y'all.